Hi, this is Chris. Another video showing you how to make Excel work for you. Okay, so I've noticed that on the table that we've created, there's no date, so we've no idea what date we added these customers. Okay, so what we can do is, if we just type date there, then it doesn't do anything. So the table's not adopted left. It doesn't work. Okay, so what we need to do instead is insert a column. But if we just do it on that side, it inserts it to the left. So again, that's not working. That's not what we want. So if we select inside the column, insert, and you see it now adopts a column inside the table. Okay. So have that as date. And then if we want to then swap that round and cut that out, insert it there in front of this one. So now we've got date at the front. Let's just reformat some of this. Make that nice and small. Double click there to change it. There we go, I think that's looking okay. So, sometimes I like to make the headings a bit wider like that. I think that looks nice. Okay, anyway, so we want to add a date. So if we're adding date, first of all we want to format this. So a quick way of doing it is to click in the top on your keyboard, rather than dragging, because you might have hundreds of rows by now. Press Control and Shift together and press the down key, and that will select everything in that column. Okay, and I do believe there's another way. I think you can press Control and Space, and that also selects the column. Right click, Format Cells, and we want Date, and whatever format you want to choose. I think this one works fine for me. So now we'll just make some random dates up. So let's say this was 1st of January 2021, 2nd of February 2021, 21st of February, 1st of March. Right, so now I've selected some random dates. Let's just highlight them all, drag it down. So let's just randomly put them dates in. So now that we've got some dates in there, what would be good is to be able to sort this table so that it's in date order. So whenever we add an entry, doesn't matter if all of a sudden we find an invoice for a customer from last year, okay, we can just type it in and put 2020, put his details in, and then we'll sort that out so that it's then in its right place. So there's a few different things that we need to do in order to do this, and what you could do is just select the full table. So I'm going to select date with my mouse, press Control and Shift and the right arrow, Control and Shift and the down arrow. And you can see that's only selected what's got a value and it's left a blank cell, so you need to make sure you do it again, select the full table. I'm going to go to Data and I'm going to click this Sort option. Now in here it gives you an option to sort by more than one level. So I want to sort by date, and I want to do it from oldest to newest. That's fine, that makes sense. So if we do that now, then you can see it's sorted them out into date order, and that new entry we added has gone to the top 1st of the 2nd, 2020. Now, maybe we want to sort it in date order, but then we also want the ones that have not paid in full to show as well in order. So if we did want to do that, then select your table again, go to sort, and you add a level. and paid in full. And well, I suppose we could do a custom list, but if we do it Z to A, then we know that it's going to be yes first, then no. So now you can see that if it has yes for the same day, it will put the yes first. So let's say this one, for example, paid in full. So if we change the amount paid, well, that one won't work. Let's try this middle one. So we'll change that to £100, so that will turn to yes. Okay. Go back to sort, just press OK. And that's now moved that to the top. So it's in date order, and the ones that need attention are lower down. Okay. So that's one option you could do. You can, different options. You might want to sort it so that it's in date order and then it's sorted by the amount that's due. So you've got the highest to lowest. So however you want to do it, you do that by sort and then add levels and delete levels. Okay. So I'm going to take this one off. We'll just have it in date order for now. So ideally, when you've got a lot of data, you don't want to have to keep going up to the top, clicking sort, working out, sorting this out and pressing OK and resorting the table. You want that to be a lot quicker. So the way to do that is by recording a macro and having a macro button to do the job for you. So I'm going to talk you through that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the developer tab. Oh, before we do that, actually, I'll just take this off. So there's nothing sorted on the table now. Okay. So we're going to go to developer tab. I'm going to record macro. Macro name is going to be sort table. And you just want it in this workbook. Okay, so don't be adding it to personal macro or whatever. Just whatever workbook you're working in, set the macro up in there. And then the description, this will just show if anyone else ever looks at the code at a later date, what it does, sorts the table by date. Okay. Press OK. So now we're recording the macro. So whatever mouse clicks you do, it's going to record, and then later on you can then use that to tell Excel what to do at the click of a button. Okay, I'm going to show you now. So let's select that like we did before. Highlight the whole table. Go to Data tab and sort. I'm going to sort by date. I'm going to sort oldest to newest. Press OK. And then we're going to select the top one, and then I'm going to press Control only and the down key. And that takes me to the bottom of the table on the last cell. And that's all I need to do. And then I'm going to go to the developer tab and stop recording. Okay. And now what that's done, if we go in macros, you'll see the macro we made, sort table. If we step into that to have a look, that code is basically what we just did. So it shows that I selected date, I went across to the right, I went down again, selected the full table, then I went to the sort option, and I set it to sort by value on date. So don't worry if this looks scary. This is why you record macros and you don't write the code yourself if you can help it. And then we've got selected customer list and what we did. Okay, so you don't need to know about that. There we go. That's what we did, and that's the macro. So if we just close that window down, yeah, no, doesn't matter about that. Okay, go back into here, and there we can see that's the macro. So how do we make it so that we can do that and keep doing it really quickly. So the easiest way is just to make a button that we're going to then name as update. So if you go to insert under the developer tab, it's got all these options, and there's one here. It's called a button or form control. Click that, and you get the crosshairs. And now wherever you want, you can draw this shape of this button. So I'm just going to put it here above date because we are sorting it in date order, so that makes more sense. And then the macro name, a sort table that we just made. So to start this up a bit, first of all, I'm just going to select this option, which bottom aligns the text, which gets it away from the button. Also means I can make the button a little bit bigger. And if you right click on the button, you've got an option to edit text. So you can put it in bold, Control and B, and then update. Okay. So let's test this. I'm going to add a few dates. So let's add some from last year, and then we know that they're going to get moved. So 1st of January 2020, 1st of February 2020, 1st of March 2020, and you can see with all these new entries, they're getting adopted straight into the table. Okay. So I've added a few now, a few random dates. So you imagine that you found some old cases, and instead of having to try and work out where they go and insert in a row, for example, you can just type them at the bottom. When you've finished typing them in and you've stopped putting all the information in, just click update and it's automatically sorted that table for you. So now all of those ones that are older have gone up to the top and are slotted in with the other ones from their date. So if I just do that again, let's put one, I don't know, let's put 5th of February 2020. So we'll see we've got the 1st of February there, we've got the 1st of March. So what we want is that 5th of February to slot in between them. Okay. And there it is. So you can really save yourself a lot of time by creating these macros and then putting that into a button. And you can make these as advanced as you want. You can record a macro for ages and you can do all sorts of different tasks. Just don't do what I've done so many times and forget that you're recording a macro, because then you just end up with something ridiculous that you don't need to replicate. Okay, so just to recap, instead of manually sorting this table, we've created a macro using Developer tab, Record Macro tool. We've then inserted a button using Developer and Insert and Button Form Control. And then we've made it to shape, we've called it what we want to call it, and we've tested that it works. And there we go. So hope that was really useful. I'm sure a lot of you will have found that useful. If you did, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel. It helps to support us and keep us going, and makes me happy when I see it as well. So thanks a lot for watching.